Hey, and welcome back to our anime series. Picking up where we left off last week with Aang. We're shifting gears now and focusing on Jujutsu Kaisen. So today, threezero is sponsoring our review, providing us with our first FigZero. If you're not familiar with those, they're highly detailed, highly articulate. These are 6-scale figures, a little larger than the DLX figures we showed you before. So today we're going to be taking a look at Yuji Itadori, the guy who ate the demon finger, started it all. So why don't we give you a close-up of the box and we'll hop into this and show you all the various features of this highly detailed figure. Well, first of all, if you're not familiar with the FigZero line, these are a lot larger than the DLX figures we've shown you in the past. These are going to be 6-scale figures, as you can see on the box, so they're coming in around 12-ish inches. These are highly detailed, highly articulate. The clothes are even especially detailed on this. They're going to be all fabric, everything down to the socks, which we'll show you. He's going to come with alternate head sculpts, alternate hands, and a couple other accessories to kind of pull off that cursed energy attacks he's known for. But much larger box. I mean, you're getting into like equivalent of Hot Toys size boxes here. So they're going to take up a little bit more shelf space. And similar to the other figures in their DLX line, they have this window box opening display. Again, they went with the Velcro instead of magnets. As you hear through all my videos, I love a magnetic clasp on a box. It's just easier over time. It doesn't wear down, or the sticky back to the Velcro peel off, where you don't get that with magnets, but I digress. Again, you get an action shot on the left of Yuji with his Slaughter Demon blade, and on the right you got the figure laying out all the accessories here. So if you wanted to display it on your shelf and box, which you really shouldn't because these things are meant to be taken out, you can. So let's dive right in and take a look at this guy. So first thing we noticed opening the box, there's no tape on the top or the bottom. So if you're worried about like ruining the condition of it, tearing it open, you won't. But also you never know if this thing was opened ahead of time. This might just be because this was a factory production sample, so it's unclear if the final version will have tape sealing the box, but just something to note. So again, with all threezeros, you get a nice little instruction sheet on how to do things like change out the head, attach the sheath for the Slaughter Demon, and just kind of a list of all the components of the character. So we have him right here, sealed up in little plastic booties and such. So you can see here he's wearing his Jujutsu High uniform, basically his shirt, little pendant here, and his pants. Socks, like we mentioned before, all the way down to the socks, they have the detail. He's got a little eye visor here to protect the face. So as the instructions say, the hair comes off here. This is how you would change the heads out. You just kind of pull the face off and then the hair attaches back in. So it's a nice little feature to give you a little bit more agency with his expressions here. He has a little hood that goes up over the hair. That's pretty cool. So he could wear that fully. It's not just for decoration, it's functional. Always like when they make an effort to include that in the wardrobe. So let's go over some of his accessories here. So he's got some claw hands here, and we have a roundup where you can see all his different hands. He's got a hand that allows him to hold his demon slaughter here. He's got a hand that allows him to hold Sukuna's finger, which he comes with, an assortment of hands. And then he's got some divergent fist effects that you could attach to his hands here, so he could do his cursed energy attacks. So capturing a lot from the character. Of course, for the Demon Slaughter, he's got a nice little belt, and this is a fabric belt here. It looks like leather, it feels like leather, it might be leather. It's really cool. He's got the sheath here for the Demon Slaughter. This is just made out of hard plastic, and then he's got the Demon Slaughter itself. So it captured a lot of the detail. It's got that bandage wrap there, and what is supposed to be fur, but in this case it's just hard plastic. I guess they could have went with some kind of medium for fur. That would have won up the look a little bit, but that fits in there nicely. And then you can put it on the belt and then secure the belt around him. We'll have a shot of that later on as well. So fulfilling his sort of look there. Of course, it's really tiny to see, but here's Sukuna's finger, severed finger. You can see the severing at the bottom here. There is no option mouth for him to eat it, so don't try. But he can hold it with the Sukuna holding hand, so we'll show you that in a second as well. And he has an alternate expression here. This is going to be an angry face as opposed to his more neutral face he comes with. Just an angry face. So we'll show that to you in a second as well. So a lot of great detailing on the face. It's really got that anime look to it. The hair, of course, that hair a lot of characters have in anime where it's really spiky, so they got that down. Some shading around the eyes to create that sort of depth in the face. You can see the articulation here is on point. These guys usually have around 32 to 38 points of articulation, so you're going to have the thighs are going to bend, the knees are going to bend, the feet have articulation, the hands have articulation, the elbows, the shoulder joints. You can get full articulation all the way across the chest, which you don't see with a lot of the 6-inch figures. They struggle with that. So it's great to see that full level of articulation here where you could have really any pose and get him down on one knee if you wanted to, and he could do it all. So that's great. Like I said, this is our first time with a FigZero, so it's impressive to see how much they could do in terms of their articulation, how easily they could move, and how easy they could balance. This guy balances fairly easily. He doesn't need a stand or anything like that, so you could really tell a lot of work went into the engineering on this, and then on the detailing on the outfit as well. It's on there. I would say it's probably going to be difficult to remove. We're not going to remove it because it's sewn on. There's no like Velcro or anything. If you wanted to take off the top and switch out an outfit, it's not really an option here. So as always, we always do a hand test on these things to see how difficult they are. This one comes with a lot of little hand pegs. They all look the same. I think they might be backups, which is nice because sometimes those do break. So we're just, okay, so they're just, always try a little twist in order to get these things off because you never know if you pull what might happen. So we'll try out his, this is his Sukuna holding finger hand. And then, yeah, wow, that went in really smooth. No struggle whatsoever on that one. And I just pop the finger in there and look at that, he holds it. Here he is holding Sukuna's finger, no problem. All right, nice. I think there's one other hand here we missed, and that might be, yep, the Sukuna mouth hand. There it is. You can't have him without that, right? So, of course, we could do the other hand over here, and pop it in easy. Here we go. Now he's got a Sukuna mouth hand. So yeah, super easy on the hands. That's great, because sometimes those can be quite a struggle. I like how they included some extra pegs just in case you did end up breaking one for whatever reason. You got some backups, so that's a really thoughtful inclusion there. And yeah, let's give you some close-ups of this guy and show you what the different hands and movements can do. So Yuji has an assortment of accessories. You see him here with his claw hands, so he could do a variety of moves, or he could just, you know, scare somebody if you wanted to. Here he is in his attack stance using a divergent fist. The fists, like I said, nice translucent blue on them, give you that nice cursed energy look. They're form-fitted to the hands, so they have a nice pressure fit on there. They're not going to fall off. FigZero lets you get a lot of articulation out of the figure, so you get a lot of great dynamic poses, like a nice fighting stance like this one. Of course, he could sport his Slaughter Demon. He's got that special hand for holding it. As we mentioned before, the sheath fits on the leather belt that's included. What we didn't see at the time was there's actually belt loops going on the slacks, so that's pretty cool. So it goes on like an actual belt and secures with a buckle. He also has his angry face, as we mentioned before, so you get a little bit more nuance and expression here when you're in attack mode. And we already showed you, but here's another shot of Yuji holding Sukuna's finger with Sukuna's finger holding hand. It fits in there nice and snug, so it's not gonna, you know, flop around or fall out. So very form-fitting, which is much appreciated. And last but not least, you could check out the Sukuna mouth hand again. The figures are a little bit flexible on there, not very rigid, but they're not going to grasp anything, but just a little bit more agency in the hand, which is kind of nice. I think that about sums it up for Yuji. You can see he's a pretty great figure, a lot of detail, a lot of accessories that fit really well. Really appreciated that inclusion of the extra wrist joints, because those either wear out over time and then you get kind of like a limp hand or limp wrist, or they break if you're putting them on and off too often. So it's kind of appreciated that they included that. It's a nice little thoughtful thing for the consumer. But very impressed with FigZero figures. This is the first one we've seen. The clothing is great, very lifelike. The hoodie portions get a nice kind of sweater or sweatshirt feel to it. So very great detail on this figure, head all the way down to the socks. He's got real socks on. The sheath on a real little leather belt is really appreciated. Great detail in all the accessories. Sukuna's finger, the Slaughter Demon here. Everything is, fitting really nicely. You don't have to struggle with it. The hands, beautiful, on and off, easy, no problems. So yeah, this guy is pretty greatly detailed. If you're a fan of the series or you're a fan of anime, this is a must-have. I think these are the first action figures in the series. I know there's been statues and assortments from different companies, but no action figures. So yeah, if you want a figure or something larger to display on your shelf, this is definitely the way to go. If you haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen, you could watch it streaming on HBO Max right now. I think the movie's on there as well, which recently passed Spirited Away as the highest grossing anime movie of all time. So pretty cool, worthwhile to check it out. We'll be having more of these in the coming weeks. If there's a particular character from the Wave 1 that you want to see next, let us know. We'll try to make that happen for next week. We'll have links at the bottom here of the video and in the article. If you want to pre-order these guys, we'll have the links up for you to do that. That's it. Great figure. Definitely worth checking out in more detail. Picking one up yourself, totally worth it. A little more shelf space than usual, but if you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, this is definitely going to be top tier for you. So worth your time. So as I said, keep following us, like, subscribe, and check back for more for Anime Month and for some other surprises in the next week. And until then, we will see you guys next time.